Here in Australia, we fret about hordes of boat people descending from the north. But just imagine this. In the American state of Arizona, there's a real invasion. Up to 10,000 illegal immigrants a day. That's right, 10,000 every day. Here, the solution seems to be talk tough. There, it's act tough, real tough. From this month, police can stop anyone, anywhere, demand to see their ID, and if they're illegal, jail them on the spot. And if they're unfortunate enough to run into one particular sheriff, they'll end up wearing pink underwear and working on the chain gang. This is what it's come to. Chains and prison camps. The penalty for being caught as an illegal immigrant in Arizona. Every day, thousands of desperate Mexicans roll the dice in a murky underworld of human smuggling. And in Sheriff Joe's America, many of them lose. They're hunted down, prosecuted, jailed, and sent home again. Your message to all those Mexicans who want something better is to just accept your birthright, no matter how crappy it is, stay there and cop it.
You do what everybody else does around the world, including Australia. If you want to come to the United States of America, you want to be a U.S. citizen, you do it the right way, you do it legally, or you don't come. You know who I am?
I know you.
What?
I heard about you.
You heard about it?
Yep.
Good or bad?
Bad.
Bad?
Yep.
Joe Arpaio, sheriff of Maricopa County, once took on the mafia for the Drug Enforcement Agency. Now he's standing up against the human wave from Mexico.
Mexico. Mexico.
All illegal?
Yeah. Mexico, Mexico.
Sheriff Joe says he's declared war on illegal immigration because other lawmakers are too gutless to put illegals behind bars.
Everybody forgets that when you cross the border, you have violated the law. They don't want to say illegal means illegal.
This self-declared toughest sheriff in America orders inmates into pink underwear because it's psychologically calming, not to mention humiliating. As for the 45-degree heat intense, he says the hotter they get, the better.
Were you in the Army?
No Army.
Let me tell you something. Our men and women, right now, fighting for our country, living in tents. They didn't commit a crime. So why are we concerned about these guys doing their time? What's wrong? They can't live in these nice tents?
1 in 5 inmates are illegal. The sheriff says the minute they've done their time, they'll be deported, no matter what the circumstances.
But you're going back to Mexico. So you ought to be happy you're getting a free trip.
When you cross from Arizona to the other side of the border fence, it's easy to understand why this is still a third world country. It's also easy to see why Mexicans here are desperate to get to America to start a better life. But while the authorities on that side of the fence are doing everything they can to stop the illegals getting across, the government here is really doing absolutely nothing. Most of those who make the journey are working class, devout Catholic families. And many come here, down a back alley in the border town of Nogales, to see a man called Juan. How many people would you take every time?
I take 10 to 15 people, groups of 10 to 15.
Juan is a people smuggler. Mexicans call them coyotes.
We would take people and put them in hotel rooms, little hotels up along the Mexican side of the border, and then we would move them out and start walking.
The hub of human smuggling is a town called Altar, where they stock up on backpacks, bedrolls, and bottles of water. Incredibly, the government of Mexico licenses the vans that run a shuttle service to the border. After that, they're on their own. These vans are a virtual taxi service, taking the would-be migrants about 80 k's up this dirt track to the border, where they meet their smugglers and then hope for the best.
Many of them come here to work. They're not all criminals. They're criminals the minute they cross the border. Let's get that straight.
So you do have sympathy for the reasons they come?
My oath of office overshadows my compassion. But they're paying, they violated the law, they paid the coyote the money, they're part of that conspiracy, and they should go to jail for that.
This valley is a favoured route because it's too vast and remote to fence. They cross after dark to escape the fierce heat, but risk being spotted by thermal imaging cameras.
Because the background is black, it'll be cooler, and then the body heat will show up as white.
Sure enough, late that night, as Border Patrol agent Eric Cantu searches a border road, the camera picked up the heat of a large group.
Hey, 132, yeah, you're in the right spot. Right there.
As we closed in, the group made a run for it, into a thicket of thorn bush. But there was no escape. First to be caught was a woman. So this is the group, huh?
Yeah.
And not far away, 10 men. Their grand hopes of a new life in America were finished, for now.
Hey, don't talk to him.
No?
No.
I could kind of smell them
Right.
as I got close, so.
Yeah, what is that?
It's garlic.
Okay.
They put it in their pant legs. They think the rattlesnakes aren't gonna bite them if they have garlic in their pant leg.
This lady here is not... Just as the high seas take the lives of asylum seekers on boats to Australia, the immense desert heat is the enemy of migrants on foot from Mexico. So far this year, the agents have found 120 dead bodies in the desert.
It's very dangerous out here.
They're a very sad and dejected lot, and it's not surprising. The facts are most of these people are economic refugees. They're trying to get over here to America to improve their lot in life. But think about it, they've only made it 5 miles and already they're in the back of the van ready for the trip down to Tucson and into a holding cell. Within 2 or 3 days, they'll be right back where they started. But then the story became even more depressing. It turned out the woman with the group was missing her 2-year-old child. She'd cut her legs on a cactus bush and handed the little girl to a man in a second group. And that group got away.
Her leg got hurt, so she gave her baby to another man. So the man who had the baby is still out there right now.
In all likelihood, the man and child got safely through. Most migrants do. And the mother was to be sent back to Mexico. Sheriff Joe says if he had his way, she'd go to jail.
We arrest people that keep a dog in an overheated car, and yet we have parents that risk the lives of their kids because they want to come here and work somewhere. They should go to jail. That's my answer.
Hasn't she done it to give the child a better life?
Well, I don't think you risk the lives of children just to give them a better life when they'll probably be dead crossing that desert.
3, 4, break it up down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, left.
Going to jail in this county with this sheriff could have you marching out of prison at 5 a.m. in chains.
I'll be glad and so will you. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Why do you put women on a chain gang?
Because I'm an equal opportunity guy. Are we supposed to treat women different than men? That's not fair.
The sheriff says they're put to work in public places. The higher the profile, the greater the deterrent.
How do you do something wrong? You're going to be on that chain gang. You're going to be wearing striped uniforms. You're going to be wearing pink underwear. So never do anything wrong. Isn't that nice?
And it doesn't stop there. Arizona is about to enact one of the toughest immigration laws in the Western world. Senate Bill 1070. Failure to carry immigration documents will become a crime, and police will have broad powers to detain anyone accused of being in the country illegally. Immigration lawyer Rachel Wilson is appalled, likening the tactics to the Gestapo, and she's deadly serious.
What happened in Nazi Germany didn't begin out of thin air. It started with little things. It started with Jews having to carry papers, and then later you couldn't tell who was a Jew, so you had to wear a star.
You really believe that there are similarities there?
I do. I think the very beginnings of that movement, I believe, are the same beginnings that we have here in Arizona.
I'm a Nazi, I'm Hitler, I'm a racist. I think it's ridiculous.
You don't find that personally offensive?
Hey, I got a job to do.
But is
You
your...
can't make everybody happy.
Remember, nice and smooth. We're just gonna walk in there and everybody's gonna be nice and calm, guns and holsters, very low profile.
Today, the sheriff's men are staging a dawn raid on a Phoenix waste disposal depot, looking for illegals.
We've got to contain.
Deputy Sheriff Joe Souza has a search warrant for people suspected of identity theft to get jobs.
Anybody that runs or hides, why would you run and hide from the police unless you're doing something wrong?
He says employers are just as bad, turning a blind eye to the fraud to hire cheap labor.
You look at the paperwork and it looks like somebody drew up the paperwork with a crayon. You know, just it's obvious that this stuff isn't real. Here goes one now, if you want to catch it, guys.
In all, 7 rubbish truck drivers were arrested for ID theft.
I have 6 kids!
Under Senate Bill 1070, police will have the extra power to make a contact with anyone they like. And if they don't have their papers, they're under arrest. The sheriff is counting down the days.
I'm not going to do it the day after. I'm going to do it the minute after midnight. I'm not going to wait the day after.
Does he have any good points?
No.
Why isn't it right to crack down on illegals?
Because we've created a situation that lures people to the United States by allowing employers to not pay the legal wage. Until you change that very basic structure, immigration is not going to change.
Good connection. And this is where they're going to go.
And Sheriff Joe is not changing either.
So we're ready for action.
So this is ready and waiting for the new law.
That's right.
At 78, Joe's too old to worry when he's called a racist. And that vacancy sign on his jails, he says, will never be switched off.
You arrest people because they have committed a crime, not because of what color their skin is.
So is this new law racism dressed up as legislation, Sheriff?
No, why is it? If we get 10 people from Australia, we're going to lock them up. What difference does it make?
Hello, I'm Amelia Adams. Thanks for watching 60 Minutes Australia. Subscribe to our channel now for our brand new stories and exclusive clips every week. And don't miss out on our extra minute segments and full episodes of 60 Minutes on 9now.com.au and the 9Now app.